Taehyung pulled YRN into his arms, holding her close as if protecting her from the storm around them. Taehyung whispering in her ear, "I don't care if the world burns for this, I just want you." YN smiling through her tears, "Then let's burn it together." But their moment shattered when a loud hiss cut through the air. Theodora, eyes wild, magic swirling in her hands, she lunged forward, aiming for the vial. Taehyung stepped back, dodging her strike. "Jimin, keep it safe," he yelled and reached for the potion. Taehyung tossed it to him, but Theodora whipped her cloak, sending a gust of dark wind. The vial veered off course. Ingrid caught it just in time. "Ingrid got it," she snapped, but the witch wasn't done. She summoned her crows, sending them in a frenzy. One dived at Ingrid. Startled, she flinched. The vial slipped again. Jungkook leapt and barely caught it. "Jungkook, why is this thing so slippery?" he yelled, wide-eyed. Theodora shrieked and fired a spell. Boom, the ground shook. Jungkook tossed the vial blindly away from the blast crash. The vial hit a stone pillar and shattered. The glowing cure spilled onto the floor, soaking into the earth. Gone. Silence fell. Everyone stared. Theodora smirked. "Theodora, oops. The potion, the only cure for the Dragon Queen, was gone." A stunned silence blanketed the wedding hall. YN's breath caught in her throat. Her hand clutched Taehyung's sleeve. "YN, no." Taehyung stood frozen, staring at the shattered glass, the glowing liquid already gone. "Taehyung, mother," he whispered. Jimin cursed under his breath and slammed his fist into a stone column. "Jimin, we were so close." Ingrid looked down, guilt flickering in her eyes. "Ingrid, I tried to protect it." Jungkook raised both hands. "Jungkook, okay, in my defense, I caught it like 3 times. Someone else dropped it last." "Atara, is there no other way?" she whispered. Suddenly, Theodora's mocking laugh echoed through the hall. "Theodora, your precious cure is gone, and now nothing can stop this wedding, or your mother's fate." Taehyung turned to her slowly, his eyes burning with fury, his fire aura rising like a storm. YN grabbed his hand gently. "YN, we still have each other, and we're not done yet." Taehyung turned to Theodora, his eyes are burning. The witch stepped back warily. "The battle isn't over. Taehyung, there will be no wedding today. Catch the witch." Theodora screams, her voice shrieks through the hall like a banshee's wail. "Theodora, you fools, you ruined everything." She raises her hands, lightning crackling at her fingertips. The skies above darken instantly. Jungkook steps forward, eyes glowing silver. A gust of wind howls into the hall, pushing everyone back. "Jungkook, not this time, witch." He lifts his hands, summoning storm clouds above. Thunder rolls as cold rain pours down, soaking Theodora and weakening her fire magic. Taehyung's big wide wings came out from his back as shields YN with his wings. "Taehyung, you can't win." He growls and breathes a warning spark, just enough to make the witch stumble. Blaze and dragon armies charge from both sides, attacking with swords laced in enchantments. Theodora dodges with a swirl of smoke, trying to disappear, but Ingrid freezes the ground, making the witch slip and fall hard. Jimin appears, covered in dirt and frost, his eyes blazing. "Jimin, enough running." Theodora throws a final firebolt. YN raises her hands, flowers bloom around her like a shield, absorbing the impact. "YRN, this ends now," she said firmly. Theodora stares at them all. Jimin, Taehyung, YRN, Jungkook, Ingrid, Blaze, Atara surrounding her like a circle of justice. She tries to vanish one last time, but a strike of lightning from Jungkook hits her directly. With a scream, she collapses. They've caught her. The witch was captured, but the victory felt hollow. The once fiery castle sat in a heavy silence. The skies remained overcast. Jungkook's magic hadn't cleared them. Inside, the halls were dim. Flames flickered low, casting long shadows. The air was thick with tension and sorrow. In the queen's chamber, Lilith lay unconscious, her breath shallow and uneven. Her once glowing scales were now dull and cold to the touch. The shattered vial of cure was long gone, wasted in the chaos. Taehyung stood by her side, fists clenched, shoulders heavy. He said nothing, just watched. Jimin entered quietly, looking at his brother. "Jimin, you're useless fool." Taehyung didn't answer. "Jimin, I even brought the cure. But still you couldn't save mother, and you call yourself a king." Still, silence. Blaze walked in next, Blaze, we've caught the witch. That has to count for something. But it didn't, because the one person Taehyung had sworn to save his mother was slipping further away. Yen watched from the doorway. Her heart ached seeing him like this, the mighty Dragon King, looking so small and helpless. She stepped closer and gently placed a hand on his arm. Yen, we'll find another way, I promise, she whispered. Taehyung didn't look at her, but her touch grounded him. Outside, the once red sky was now a dull gray. The castle had never felt colder. Yen inhaled the air. She knows it is high time to do this. This time she can't give up. With her small step, the flower fairy walked to the castle garden. The dark castle garden just before dawn, the moonlight faded behind thick clouds as tension swallowed the castle. Whispers filled the air like drifting fog. In the quiet of the castle garden, Yen stood barefoot in the cold soil, her wings faintly glowing, her hands trembling. She had tried so many times, failed again and again, but not today. Yen raised her palms to the sky, the magic in her veins sparking. Come on, she whispered, eyes full of hope and desperation. Please, she began chanting softly, summoning the warmth of memories, her mother's lullaby, her father's jokes, sister's giggle, the laughter of healed dragons, and the love she found in a place meant to cage her. Magic bloomed around her, tiny lights danced in the air, the earth pulsed under her feet, but her body wasn't strong enough anymore. First, her nose began to bleed, then her mouth. Still, she pushed through the pain, weaving all her magic, every piece of herself, into the soil. Atara watched with wide eyes, heart pounding. Atara, flower fairy, please stop, she whispered, but Yen just smiled through the blood. Yen, no one tells the Dragon King, promise me, she had warned her, but Atara couldn't watch her break. She turned and ran through the halls, breath catching in her throat. Atara, your majesty, she cried, bursting into the Queen Mother's chamber. Atara, come now, the fairy she's not well. Taehyung's eyes widened. Without a word, he bolted past her. In the garden, the first golden light of dawn slipped through the heavy clouds, falling directly on Yen. The magic flared. She gasped and a single, glowing blue Elaine flower bloomed from the soil, shimmering like starlight. Yen smiled faintly. Then her knees buckled, but before she could hit the ground, strong arms caught her. Taehyung, why? He asked, voice shaking, eyes wild with fear. Yen, barely conscious, held out the flower and a small glass bottle glowing softly with her mother's potion. Yen, give it to Mother Queen. She'll be fine, she whispered. Then everything went still except the flower glowing between them like a promise. The soft glow of the Elaine flower faded in Taehyung's hand as he sat frozen on the cold ground. Yen limp in his arms, his eyes were full of fear and heartbreak. He didn't even notice the others rushing in until he heard a sharp gasp. Jungkook stepped forward, eyes wide. Jungkook, no way, she did this, she really did it. Blaze, Jimin, and Ingrid followed behind, stunned by the sight of the glowing blue flower. Jimin, the Elaine flower. Blaze, what's this? Jungkook knelt beside them, gently touching the petals. Jungkook, this flower only grows with pure magic and a selfless heart. Yen made it. She gave everything she had. Atara wiped her tears, nodding quickly. Atara, she asked me not to tell anyone. She knew it would destroy her, but she still tried. Jungkook carefully picked up the small glass bottle from the ground. Jungkook, this is the magic of her mother, a potion that can cure the fairies. Her mother is a healing fairy, and this potion, mixed with the Elaine flower, becomes the strongest cure in the world. It can cure every creature, every sickness. Jimin's eyes lit up. Jimin, then mother, she'll be fine? He took the flower and bottle from Taehyung's hands, who sat there quietly, too overwhelmed to speak. Minutes later, Jimin and Jungkook gently mixed the crushed petals of the Elaine flower with the glowing liquid. The potion turned a bright gold. Carefully, they helped the queen drink it. For a moment, everything was still. Then, the queen gasped violently. Her body shook. She leaned forward and suddenly vomited thick, dark fluid. The room froze in horror as sharp, blackened nails spilled from her mouth, clinking on the floor like metal. Everyone stepped back in shock. Blaze, That's not natural, Jungkook. The witch. She cursed her from the inside. Jimin. But Hyen's magic forced it out. The queen slowly opened her eyes, breathing hard but alive. In Hyen's chamber, Taehyung sat beside the unconscious fairy, brushing strands of hair from her pale face. His heart ached. Just then, Atara rushed in, out of breath but smiling brightly. Atara, your majesty, she's awake, your mother, she's cured. Taehyung stared at her, stunned, then slowly, he looked down at Yen. He took her hand gently and whispered, Taehyung, you saved her, and no one ever saved me like this. The first thing Queen Lilith saw after opening her eyes in the familiar surrounding, it's her bedroom. Lilith turned her head slowly, only to see her elder son standing in front of her. She smiled weakly. Queen Lilith, the ice dragon is in the fire kingdom. Am I dead? Jimin, you were going to die, old lady, but we save you. Queen Lilith, first of all, you should learn some manners. How can you say this, beautiful lady, old, blind dragon? And second, it's not you who save me, she is the one who give me the second life. Soft sunlight streamed through the tall windows, casting a golden glow across the room. The scent of fresh flowers lingered in the air. Yen stirred faintly, her lashes fluttering, her eyes opened slowly, adjusting to the warm light. Her body felt heavy, her limbs weak. She tried to sit up, but winced as a dull ache shot through her chest. Taehyung, who had been silently sitting by her bedside, instantly leaned in. Taehyung, don't move, you're still too weak, he said softly. Yen blinked at him, confused. Yen, did it work? The Elaine flower, she asked, her voice barely come out and sounded like a whisper. Taehyung's eyes softened as he took her hand. Taehyung, yes, you saved her, princess, my mother is alive. Tears gathered in her eyes, she smiled weakly. Yen, really, that's all I wanted. Her voice trembled, a mix of exhaustion and joy. Yen, you should go see her, she must be waiting for you. Taehyung hesitated, his thumb gently brushing her fingers. Taehyung, are you sure? Yen, I'll be fine. Atara's here. Atara nodded with a small smile, stepping closer to Hyen's side. Atara, I won't leave her. Taehyung stood up slowly, glancing at Yen one last time. His expression held something unspoken gratitude, awe, and something deeper. Taehyung, I'll be back soon. He turned and walked out, the door closing quietly behind him. The door creaked open softly as Taehyung stepped into the room, his boots echoing gently on the marble floor. The golden curtains were drawn wide, bathing the room in warm sunlight, and there she was, Queen Lilith, sitting up in her bed, looking pale but alive. Taehyung, Queen Mother, he called her softly, her gaze turned to him, tired, but filled with warmth. Taehyung is standing far from her. Lilith's relationship with her younger son is not that sweet. She used to give Jimin more time as he had no one. And after Lilith forgave Jimin for killing his own father, the relationship between her and Taehyung become bitter, and Lilith can't blame him for this. Taehyung grew up under his father's warmth, and he turned just like this father, cold, arrogant from outside, soft and warm from inside. Even though there was a distance between them, Lilith knows Taehyung loves her a lot. She opened her arms. Taehyung looked at her with surprise. Lilith nodded with a smile, and he rushed to her, sinking into her embrace like a lost child finding home again. Queen Lilith, my son, even though you've grown up and a king now, you're still a child to me. Taehyung, I thought I lost you. Queen Lilith, you almost did, but she saved me. He pulled back slightly, his brows furrowing. Taehyung, you mean Flower Fairy? She nodded with a gentle smile. Queen Lilith, even when she had every reason to leave, she stayed, and gave everything she had. I heard everything, Taehyung, even when I was unconscious. I felt it, her voice, her tears, your whisper. His eyes widened, Lilith's expression turned serious. Queen Lilith, it's time you know the truth, that she was innocent. It was not her magic that summoned the wizards. She looked down at her hands, trembling. Queen Lilith, it was Theodora. She helped the wizards invade. It was her. She used her dark magic, her cursed nails, and planted them inside me. I thought it was the end. Taehyung's fists clenched, his jaw tightening as guilt and fury collided in his chest. Taehyung, Then all this time, I hurt my princess. I blamed her. I behaved rude to her. Because of a lie. Queen Lilith reached out and gently cupped his face. Queen Lilith, but she still forgave you. She still loves you. That flower, that cure, only a heart full of pure love could create something so divine. Taehyung closed his eyes, pain welling up in his throat. Taehyung, I don't deserve her, he whispered. Just as Taehyung steps back from his mother, Blaze stand in the door, gaze fixed in the ground. Blaze, my king. Taehyung turns, still shaken from the revelation. Blaze, the ice dragon is asking for you. He's in the throne room, he said. He needs to tell you something important. Taehyung frowned and asked, Taehyung, can it wait? Blaze hesitate before saying, Blaze, he said it's about the witch, and something impossible. Taehyung's eyes narrow in concern. Taehyung, impossible? Queen Lilith nods toward him gently. Queen Lilith, go son, the truth must not wait anymore. With a heavy heart and mind spinning, Taehyung nods and strides out of the room, following Blaze down the corridor toward the throne room. The grand doors creaked open, and Taehyung stepped in. His boots echoed on the cold floor. Jimin stood near the throne. The other noble dragons are sitting in their respective seats. Jimin is holding an old book. Its cover was thick and cracked, glowing faintly red like it was alive. Jimin, the flower fairy is cursed. Taehyung wasn't surprised as he heard it from the crown prince before. He just clenched his jaw and asked, Taehyung, who dared to curse her? Jimin, Theodora, from ages she have been killing the fairies to stay young, but she has another evil intention to curse the flower fairy. Taehyung, what does she want? Without a word, Jimin tossed the book to Taehyung. It landed in his hands with a heavy thump. Jimin, read the title. Taehyung looked down. Curses of the Forgotten Heart. His brow furrowed. The moment his fingers touched the pages, a chill ran through him. As he flipped through, the words almost whispered to him. Then, he stopped at a page that made his blood run cold. Taehyung, to rule fire and magic, the witch must marry a dragon king who is already in love, then steal the love from his true mate. Only a heart filled with pure love can give her the power to control both realms. He stared at the page, stunned. Jimin, she never wanted you. Taehyung, she wanted your crown, and Yn's magic, because Yn's love for you made her shimmer stronger than any fairy alive. Taehyung, she needed me, to get to her. Jimin nodded his head. Jimin, she cursed the flower fairy when she was a child, a deadly curse. On her 20th birthday, she'll die unless she marries her true love. Taehyung, she made everyone think that the crown prince was her true love, so I'd stay away, he said, his voice cracking. Jimin, she planned every step. She poisoned Mother, framed the fairy kingdom. She nearly got away with it. Taehyung's hands tightened around the book. Taehyung, she endured it all, and I kept hurting her. His eyes burned with fire, not rage, but heartbreak. Taehyung, she's not dying, not for me, not for that witch, he said quietly but firmly. Jimin, yes, the witch will die. Only truth love can kill the witch, and for that you have to marry the flower fairy as soon as possible. Before Taehyung could respond, a sudden gust of magical wind swirled through the throne room. The tall doors swung open, revealing a figure cloaked in golden light. Jungkook, crown prince of the magic land, stepped inside. His expression was grave. Jungkook, you have to marry her before tomorrow ends. Everyone turned, startled. Jungkook stepping forward. Jungkook, tomorrow is her 20th birthday. The curse will kill her the moment the day ends unless she marries her true love before midnight. The color drained from Taehyung's face. He could hear his own heartbeat. His hands trembled. His eyes darted to the clock. Every second was slicing away her chance to live. Then, suddenly, his fear shifted into resolve. He stood tall, fire flickering in his eyes. Taehyung, then I will marry the flower fairy right now, he declares. Gasps filled the throne room. Time was running out, but so was Taehyung's patience for fate. He wouldn't let her die, not when he had finally found her, not when he loved her. Yn lay on the bed, pale and tired, but smiling weakly as she spoke with Atara. The door suddenly slammed open. Taehyung stood there, breathless, eyes wide with urgency. Taehyung, princess. She sat up slowly, startled. Yn, Dragon King, what happened? He rushed to her side and knelt before the bed, taking her hands in his trembling ones. Taehyung, you have to marry me, now, before midnight, his voice shaking. Y or N blinked in confusion. Y or N? W what? Taehyung, I got to the truth. I know everything. I need to marry you before. His voice cracked. He couldn't say the word. Y or N gasped softly. Taehyung cupped her cheeks. Taehyung, I won't let that happen. Not when I love you. Not when I finally know the truth. Please, marry me. Tears welled in Wyan's eyes. She smiled through them, glowing softly like moonlight. Y or N? You're really asking a flower fairy to marry a dragon, Taehyung. I'd ask 1,000 times if it means I get to keep you, he said smiling. She leaned forward and rested her forehead against his. YN, then yes, I'll marry you. Suddenly the heavy door swings open and Blaze rushes in, slightly out of breath. Taehyung frowned. Blaze, my king, the witch? She run away.